You crushed their ranking. And in that single moment, the world twisted against you. The throne wasn't built to applaud you, it was built to consume you. The second you touched it, the shadows moved, the whispers grew louder, and suddenly every pair of eyes turned sharp. You think they clapped for you? No. They clapped to mask the sound of their own teeth grinding, their hearts cracking, their egos collapsing. That's the truth no one dares admit. Victory doesn't crown you. It hunts you. And oh, doesn't that thrill you? The spotlight is no blessing. It's a target painted on your back. Every cheer is a dagger tucked beneath the tongue. Every smile is a trapdoor waiting to open under your feet. But you, ha 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 ha. You walked right into it, not afraid, not even blinking, because something in you wanted this hunt. You wanted to see how far they'd go to break you. You wanted to taste their fear when they realized you're not prey, you're poison. I tell you this, the leaderboard was never numbers. It was their soul. You didn't just climb it, you tore it apart, limb by limb, ego by ego. They built that tower with sweat and illusion, and you brought it crashing down with one swing. Now the ruins are echoing your name, and they hate you for it. Oh, how they hate you. That hatred, it's not weakness, worship in disguise. The throne itself is alive now, stalking you, whispering your name through the walls, through the silence, through the air you breathe. It doesn't want you to sit, it wants to devour you. And that's the beauty of it. Ha 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 ha. The more it hunts, the hungrier you become. That's the madness of power. It doesn't protect, it provokes. It turns kings into ghosts and ghosts into kings. So tell me, when the throne hunts you, do you smile back at it, broken teeth shining, daring it to try harder? Because deep inside you know the secret. You were never meant to sit quietly. You were meant to set the damn seat on fire. They thought the board was just numbers. Huh. Fools. Every digit, every rank was their reflection, their fragile pride carved into symbols, and you didn't just move past them. You split their reflection open. You made their identity bleed in public. Do you know what that does to a person? It rips the air out of their chest. It makes them desperate, like drowning men, clawing for oxygen. You didn't beat them. You unmasked them, and they'll never forgive you for that. Listen closely. Their silence screams louder than their words. When they stop clapping, when they stop smiling, that's when you know you've broken something sacred. You shattered the illusion that they were untouchable. And illusions don't die quietly. They rot. They spread. They infect every corner of their mind. That's why they're obsessed with you now. Because every time they close their eyes, they don't see themselves anymore. They see you standing over them, laughing. And oh, isn't that delicious? The leaderboard wasn't your victory. It was their funeral. Not in the dirt, no, but in their heads. You've taken real estate in their thoughts, rent-free, permanent. Every step you take from here, every breath you draw, it reminds them of their fall. And the worst part, they can't erase it. They can't reverse it. The board remembers. The crowd remembers. Their own reflection remembers. And it burns. It burns them alive. Now watch. They will claw. They will bite. They will dig their nails into your back just to climb over you. But the truth, the harder they try, the deeper they sink. Because you didn't just win. You infected the game. You poisoned the entire system with the proof that they can be beaten. You made the impossible look like child's play. And once the mask of invincibility cracks, it never heals again. So let them chase, let them plot, let them bleed, because every desperate attempt to reclaim their crown only feeds your legend. And legends, ha 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 ha. Legends are born in blood, not applause. The throne looks golden from a distance, but get closer and you'll see the cracks. You'll hear the whispers leaking through it. Every step you take higher makes the air thinner, the silence louder, the shadows sharper. Up here, applause turns into suspicion. Smiles hide daggers. Every handshake feels like a test of how deep they can cut without anyone noticing. That's the price of standing above them. You don't just hold power, you sleep with knives aimed at your throat. You see, the throne isn't a prop, it's a cage, a beautiful one. Yes, but still a cage. The higher you climb, the fewer people you can trust, the fewer shoulders you can lean on. Because the truth, nobody wants you here. Not really. They want the crown, not the king. They want the seat, not the soul that bleeds inside it. And so the paranoia grows. Not in them, but in you. You start asking who's waiting for me to slip, who's smiling a little too wide, who's quiet a little too long. And that paranoia, ha 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 ha, it's delicious. It sharpens you. It keeps you awake when others sleep. It forces your mind to hunt every shadow before it hunts you. That's the irony they never tell you. Power doesn't make you safe. It makes you a target. But you thrive on that danger. You don't need calm. You don't need peace. You need the tension, the constant threat, the pressure that makes weaker men crumble. Because without it, you'd be bored. So let them whisper, let them plot, let them sharpen their blades in the dark. Every scheme they build only proves how badly they want to be. Every jealous breath they take is another stone laid in your legend. Because paranoia isn't your prison, it's your kingdom. You don't just live with the knives, you dance with them. And when the throne trembles, it isn't because it's falling apart. It's because it knows you've already bent it to your madness. Their rage is boiling. You can feel it. Every glare, every muttered insult, every trembling hand reaching for what you ripped away. They want to see you stumble. They want to see you crawl. But here's the punchline. Ha 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 ha. Their rage doesn't weaken you. It feeds you. It's fuel dripping like gasoline over your fire. The more they hate, the hotter you burn. The more they scream, the louder your silence cuts through them. They think their anger is a weapon. No, it's your shield. Every ounce of bitterness they spit at you is proof you've carved your name into their bones. You live inside their fury now. You've branded yourself onto their pride. And they'll try to throw that fire at you. But when it hits, it doesn't scorch you. It forges you. Their rage becomes your armor, shaping you into something sharper, colder, more dangerous. You don't crumble under their hate. You crystallize into something untouchable. Look at them. They plot. They scream. They gather in little circles like frightened children, whispering about the monster under the bed. Except the monster is real. And it's you. You've turned into the very thing they swore they'd never fear. And now every move you make makes them question themselves. Question their worth. Question if they ever belonged near that throne at all. That's power. Not the seat you sit on, but the fear you inspire in those clawing beneath it. So don't resist their rage. Embrace it. Wrap yourself in. Let it be the iron that hardens your skin, the poison that becomes your medicine. Because when you learn to drink their hate like water, when you can swallow their rage and smile with blood still on your teeth, ha 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 ha, then nothing can touch you. Not their knives, not their whisper, not even the throne itself. They think they're chasing you. Huh. Poor fools. They see themselves as predators, but what they don't realize is that you were never running. You were watching, waiting, letting them believe the hunt was theirs. That's the trick, isn't it? To turn the game inside out. To make them think you're prey, when in reality you're the storm. And storms don't run. Storms consume. You see, the hunt was never about you. It was about them. Their desperation. Their need to prove they still matter. And you use that hunger against them. Every step they take toward you pulls them deeper into the trap. Every move they make to cut you down slices their own throat instead. They don't even realize it yet. But soon, oh soon, they'll learn the truth. Prey doesn't laugh while being chased. Predators don't lose sleep over their victims. Ha ha. That's the madness. You flip the order of nature. They stalk you in daylight. They whisper your name in the dark, and all the while it's you pulling the strings. You're not hunted, you're haunting them. Their dreams, their pride, their sanity. You don't run from them, you live inside them. And that's the kind of victory no crown, no throne, no empire can ever erase. So let them hunt. Let them scream your name like a curse. Because the more they chase, the weaker they become. And the weaker they become, the stronger your shadow grows. One day, they'll look around and realize the truth. That the throne isn't chasing you. That they never were the hunters. That from the very beginning, you were the nightmare hunting them. No crown is ever handed down gently. No throne is ever offered with open arms. Power isn't given, it's stolen. It's ripped from trembling fingers. It's carved out of the bones of those too weak to hold it. And yet, ha ha ha, most people live their whole lives waiting for someone to validate them. Waiting for applause, waiting for permission to be who they already know they are. Pathetic, isn't it? You didn't wait. That's why they hate you. You didn't knock on the door. You kicked it off its hinges. You didn't ask, "Can I sit here?" You grabbed the seat, blood still dripping, and said, "This is mine now." That's the difference between them and you. They're still hoping someone else will see their worth. You already knew yours. You carved it into the world with scars they'll never forget. Permission is the leash they choke themselves with. They beg for recognition, and in begging, they prove they don't deserve it. But you cut the leash. You spat in the face of their approval. And once you do that, oh, the fear in their eyes becomes priceless. Because nothing is more terrifying than someone who doesn't need permission to burn everything down. That's why they can't stop you. That's why they whisper your name with equal parts envy and terror. You destroyed the system they worshipped by proving the throne was never theirs to give. It was always yours to take. And when you take what others are too afraid to claim, you don't just rise, you rewrite the rules. You show them the ugliest truth they've spent their whole lives hiding from. That the world doesn't reward the obedient. It rewards the ruthless. So, remember this. Don't ever wait. Don't ever beg. Don't ever ask. Because every second you hesitate, someone weaker than you is pretending to be strong. And every second you strike without permission, you become something greater than strong. You become inevitable. Do you know what drives them insane? Not your victories, not your words, not even your laughter. It's your silence, that cold, sharp nothing. They scream your name. They spit their venom. They twist themselves in circles trying to provoke you, and you give them nothing. Ha ha ha. Oh, it eats them alive. Because silence is not weakness, it's a mirror. And in that mirror they see their own desperation, their own irrelevance. Every time you refuse to explain yourself, they choke on the questions they'll never have answered. Every time you walk past without reacting, their rage multiplies. Silence forces them to hear the noise of their own insecurities. And the longer you stay quiet, the louder those voices get, until it's unbearable. Until they'd rather be destroyed by you than ignored by you. That's power. Pure, ruthless power. Words, anyone can use them. Excuses, they love to throw them. But silence is sacred. Silence cuts deeper than any speech ever could. When you say nothing, you force them to imagine everything. And imagination, oh, ha ha ha. Imagination is cruel. It paints their worst fears. It convinces them you're planning something bigger, darker, more devastating than anything they could prepare for. So let them demand explanations. Let them beg for clarity. Let them scream in frustration, because you won't give them the courtesy of acknowledgement. That's not your weakness. That's your weapon. And every second of silence wraps tighter around their throats, squeezing, choking, reminding them they are not your equal. They are just noise, while you are the echo that never dies. And when the silence finally breaks, when you choose to speak, it won't be for their comfort, it'll be for their collapse. One word, one move, one strike. That's all it takes to remind them why your silence was scarier than their entire arsenal. Because the loudest sound in the world is the silence before the storm. They built a mirror for you, a perfect little reflection, neat, controlled, weak. They wanted you to stare at it and believe this is who you are. They carved rules into that glass. They painted lines you weren't supposed to cross. They made sure the reflection smiled only when they allowed it. But you, ha ha ha, you shattered it. One crack, one strike, and suddenly their illusion bled out all over the floor. The moment that mirror broke, you stopped being what they wanted and became what they feared. Because mirrors don't show the truth. They show the version they trained you to accept. Breaking it wasn't rebellion. It was rebirth. It was the death of the puppet they built, and the birth of the monster they couldn't contain. That sound, the glass shattering, that was freedom, sharp, jagged, untamed. And now every time they look at you, they don't see the reflection they designed. They see chaos staring back. They see something they can't label, can't box, can't control. That terrifies them. Because people cling to definitions, labels, titles, and when you strip those away, they're left with something raw, something unrecognizable, something that makes their stomachs twist and their pride rot. That's why they hate you more than anything else. Not because you won, but because you destroyed the image they built of what winning should look like. You didn't smile politely. You didn't fit the costume. You didn't thank them for the scrap. You laughed, standing in the ruins of their mirror, and told them the ugliest truth. I will never be who you want me to be. So let them try to rebuild it. Let them scramble to tape the shards back together. Every attempt will cut them deep. Every piece will remind them that the reflection they worshipped is gone. And the figure standing before them now, ha ha ha, is something they'll never be able to control. Fear is a currency. They tried to spend it on you. They whispered threats. They sharpened knives. They filled the air with warnings, hoping you'd choke on the smoke. But you didn't. You inhaled it. You swallowed their fear whole and laughed with blood still dripping from your teeth. And in that moment, ha 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 ha, something shifted. Fear switched sides. It was no longer yours to carry. It was theirs, because what terrifies them most is not your strength. It's your refusal to break. They planned for your collapse. They rehearsed for your surrender. But when the moment came, you stood still, silent, smiling. That smile haunts them now. It eats into their sleep. It infects their dreams. It makes them wonder, what kind of creature doesn't bend when the whole world is pressing down? And that question, that's the beginning of their unraveling. Now every step you take echoes louder than their threats. Every glance you throw cuts deeper than their weapons. You've become untouchable, not because you're invincible, but because you don't flinch. They can't hurt someone who feeds on pain. They can't scare someone who's already danced with fear and turned it into fuel. And once they realize that, once it truly sinks in, they know the hunt is over. Watch their faces. Watch the tremble in their voices. They still pretend, of course. They posture. They bark. They claim the throne is theirs. But beneath it all, fear has hollowed them out. Their pride is a mask stretched too tight. Their courage is an act played for an audience that no longer believes. And you've stolen the one weapon they trusted most. Their fear, their precious intimidation. Now it belongs to you. You carry it in your pocket, you wear it like armor. You breathe it like oxygen. And when you walk into the room, they already know. They feel it. The hunt has ended. The hunter has become the hunted. And fear, sweet, trembling fear, will never leave their side again. The mask isn't painted on my face. It's carved, etched deep. Every crack in the skin is a memory they forced on me. Every smile is a scar they couldn't erase. They thought breaking me would bury me. Nah, it birthed me. You know what's funny? They teach you to fit in, to obey, to sit quiet. They sell you normal like it's salvation. But normal is a prison. And I torched that cage. I swallowed the fire. And now every word I speak drips gasoline. One spark and the whole room burns. They call me insane. Isn't it insane to follow rules that were written by liars? Isn't it madness to kneel before men who bleed just like you? Look around. The world's already on fire. I just dance in the flames. And here's the cruel joke. They hate me because I remind them of the truth. That underneath their polished masks, they're just as cracked, just as broken, just as desperate to laugh while everything falls apart. But I don't hide it. I don't cover it. I wear it. I weaponize it. So go ahead, call me a villain, paint me as a monster, write me into their nightmare. Because what they fear the most is not me. It's the reflection I force them to see.